Okay, so get this, right? We're diving into the 2024 election. But not just any election stuff. This picture everyone's talking about.
Over 100, count 'em, former Republican bigwigs, folks who were around for Reagan, both Bushes, even Trump's own time. Now they're all, like, denouncing him.
Yeah, it's really something.
And not just, oh, we disagree on policy. This is serious stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Accusations flying, chaos in the ranks, getting cozy with foreign powers.
Right.
They're even bringing up the Founding Fathers. Can you believe it?
This is like a whole political thriller. What's going on?
It's wild. So what's got you most surprised by all this? You've been studying this way longer than I have.
You know, honestly, it's the sheer number of them. In all my years looking at this stuff, I can't think of a time this many high-up people, they didn't just criticize, they're condemning someone from their own side.
And a former president, no less.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Not just some small faction. This is like
Yeah.
the whole Republican establishment sort of turning on itself.
Like a house divided, as they say.
Yeah.
And they really don't hold back either.
No, they don't.
This endorsement letter, it's less like, we support so-and-so, and more like an intervention,
Totally.
unfit to serve, betrayed our values. Those aren't just disagreements. Those are warning sirens blaring.
You hit the nail on the head. And to really get why this is such a big deal, we got to look at the specifics, right? What are they actually accusing him of?
Lay it on us.
They're saying, flat out, Trump put himself first, his own gain, over what's best for the country.
Oof. That's a heavy one right out the gate.
And they point to things like, remember all that stuff with his businesses while he was in office?
Oh, yeah.
That, they say, is Exhibit A of him not getting his priorities straight.
Yeah, if they can back that up, that's pretty damning. What else they got?
Okay, so they also say he messed up big time on alliances, stuff vital to national security.
Like what specifically?
They go after how he dealt with NATO, saying he made our allies nervous, actually emboldened those who want to cause trouble.
And these are people who've been in the room where it happens, right? They know how this stuff works.
Exactly. This isn't just some theoretical talk. They've seen firsthand how global power plays out, and they're really worried he wasn't careful enough with it.
So not even just what Trump did do, but what he didn't, they're saying.
100%. They also really slam him for dragging the military into politics, which has always been a no-go zone.
Which is a point, even if you don't follow politics super closely, that's messing with some coarse stuff.
Absolutely. They say he used the military for his own image, basically, and that undermines people's trust in it.
Right. This isn't just Democrat versus Republican anymore. It's bigger. But before we go too far down that road,
Sure.
we got to talk about who these Republicans are. We keep saying former this, ex-official that.
Right.
These aren't just some folks shouting on Twitter. These are people, right, who their whole lives they've been about serving the country, top of their fields, been there for some of the toughest calls America's had to make. To see them break ranks like this.
It does make you think, what was the final straw,
Exactly. It's huge. And these aren't folks who just shoot their mouths off. They get the weight of saying something like this.
Oh, they know. Their reputations, relationships, some of this could follow them forever. And they still felt they had to say it.
Powerful stuff. Okay, but got to switch gears, but talk about the woman they're actually backing now, Kamala Harris.
Right.
Because, and no offense meant here, but that letter, that's less about how great Harris is, more like, get Trump out of here is the vibe I got.
It's true. They really focus on him. You've put your finger on something interesting there, that political calculation.
Yeah, like they mention her NATO stance, border security, even working with Republicans.
Right, right.
But it's almost an afterthought compared to how much they lay into Trump.
It's very telling. So are they just picking the least bad option, you think? Or is there something about Harris herself we're missing?
That's the million-dollar question.
It could be a little of both, honestly. Don't forget, these folks, many of them have worked with Harris. Senate, even now as VP.
True, they've seen her up close.
Exactly. So they've got a feel for how she operates. Maybe there is something there that fits what they want, even if they don't agree on every policy point,
Makes sense. Can't ignore the big BUT, though. All this, historic as it is, hasn't exactly made the polls go wild for Harris.
No, not exactly. It's fascinating, isn't it?
They say it's neck and neck right now, the race. Heck, I even heard a rumor Oprah Winfrey's doing a whole campaign thing for Harris, Michigan, I think it was.
Is that right? Wow. See, that's why these polls are so interesting now. These endorsements, they clearly mean something. But will people actually vote based on them?
Good question.
Are these officials out of touch with how regular Republicans are feeling? Or, and this is a big one, is voting changing itself? Like, party doesn't matter as much as it used to,
And Oprah getting involved, that's a whole other thing to unpack.
isn't it? She can get people's attention, folks who aren't glued to the news every day even.
For sure.
But it's risky, too. Could look desperate, like a last resort.
High risk, high reward. This whole election is like that, right? But, okay, back to you listening at home. What does it mean when you got these Republican, legends going for the Democrat, polls are this close, and Oprah might be out there campaigning? What's the takeaway?
And it says we're in uncharted waters, politically speaking.
I'm dying.
Big time. I mean, one thing that's crystal clear is the old rules. They're out the window.
Yeah.
Party loyalty, we've never seen it tested like this before. It's kind of wild.
It's like that one guy said, it's in the letter, he's like, we didn't ditch the Republicans, they left us.
Exactly. Powerful, right. They feel betrayed, like what the party stands for now. It's not what they signed up for.
Totally.
And it's not just these big names either. You see it with regular voters too, right? Look at how many people are going independent or voting for one party here, another there. People are fed up with how it's always been.
So is this like America's politics are changing forever? Or just because this election's so crazy?
$1 million question.
Mm-hmm.
Too soon to tell for sure, but this is worth keeping an eye on. And it's not just who's going to be president either. This could change how Congress works, state stuff, even local elections.
Domino effect.
Exactly.
Okay, so someone's listening, trying to make sense of it all while their head spins from this election.
Yeah.
What do they do?
This might sound basic, but your vote matters more than ever. You always hear that. But this time, seriously, with parties all over the place, race this close, one vote can be the difference.
No pressure, right. But it's true. We're not just watching this happen, we're in it.
100%.
So here's my final thought for everybody as we watch these last few weeks go nuts, right? Don't just look at what they're saying, the polls, the promises, the debates.
Right.
Think about why. Why are they saying it? Why are people voting this way or that? Because when you get the why, that's how you make smart choices, not just in November, but in life,
Couldn't have said it better myself. And one more thing, politics, they don't stay still. What's a big shocker today could be normal tomorrow.
The good old American way, always changing. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into 2024, folks. Been a wild one, and we're not done yet.